Hello, Stitch Roadies. Long time no see. Well, right today we are in Sedona, Arizona, and it is absolutely unusual weather they're having here. This whole week it's 90 or above, and just glorious clear skies, just a few scattered clouds. And so I have such empathy for all the sunshine stitchers and all those stitchers that are in the path of Helene. Yeah, that's I'm grateful for this, for all of this. So the way I'm deciding to do this video is to kind of give you an overview. There'll be a lot more travel in this video. Also the visit to Shepherd's Bush, but we left Oregon and headed down 84 towards Idaho and Utah. We had hoped to stop at some friends in Idaho, but G was still recovering from a cold and we didn't want to pass on the gift that keeps giving. So we just kind of breezed on through, didn't stop at any shops there, and ultimately ended up in Provo, Utah, which was lovely also, although the traffic, oh my gosh, everything has grown exponentially. So much traffic is available, and the freeways, I had never seen such traffic in Idaho. Everyone must have been relocating there. But we kind of ended up out in the desert. But before that, we stopped at Shepherd's Bush, and I did a walk around of that shop, which was incredible. I had no idea. It is not very large, but from floor to ceiling is covered in FFO'd cross stitch. Everything is framed and hung up. It's so inspiring that I naturally came away with some haul. What I was really amazed about is how they did their business. You know, every shop has their way that they run and the way that they put out their product. Shepherd's Bush, well, let me just show you. I'm babbling here a little bit, but I was really just gobsmacked about it. So the haul that I walked away with was, I wanted to get some prairie schoolers, you know, the older charts that you don't see too much anymore. And so I decided to get Halloweeny, because after all, it's just about October. And then this pins and needles. I just, so cute. So I got those. But the thing that was really, let's see, do I have that here? Oh, hold on a second. Okay, I'm going to try to get a little more organized here. The way I traveled with my cross stitch and my hand stitching was in this gray, it's from Amazon, and it was $12. It's listed as a diaper bag, but it has all these compartments. And I saw it, a friend of mine at Pioneer Quilts for Woolly Wednesday brought one, and I was sold on the way to travel with it. So, you know, I have my light, my magnifier, all the project bags are in there, and so it was easy to get to Shepherd's Bush. Is ultimately what we're trying to get to. So the things that I got, I showed you the 2 charts that I got from Shepherd's Bush. But I bought a chart, and the reason I want to show you this is, I wish I had bought a project bag, but here we go. That's the Shepherd's Bush project bag. I saw this chart by Madame Chantilly. Like pretty much every chart in there, just about, has a sample finished on the wall, floor to ceiling, with barely an inch between each one. And I saw this Autumn by Madame Chantilly. It's Autumn Garden. I would not have necessarily bought this chart. I'm being honest here. But what sold me on the chart was the stitched sample on the wall. And see, that's the thing, is that when you see it stitched up, it gives it a whole different look. And the piece that I saw was this one. Autumn Garland. But even though I saw this chart, the sample that was on the wall was entirely different. And so I asked the gal there, I wish I had gotten her name, because she's the one that stitched the sample. I said, is that stitched in this called for colors? And she said, no, I did a conversion. And so I was like, oh no. But the thing they do at Shepherd's Bush is when there's a conversion stitched, they include the whole conversion chart. I mean, over and above. Let me just say, over and above. And I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. And then she did it in 32 count with 1 thread over 2. And normally I would do 2 threads over 2, but I love the way the sample looked. And so I said, no, I'm going to stick with that. And I got myself well, what happened was I bought the chart and I bought the fabric that she used. And then I went back out to the van, and then I thought, oh no, I want to start this. I had this overwhelming desire to start this. And so I went right back in the shop and I said, I want all the threads. And so she pulled all the threads for me. And I got floss away bags and this beautiful little bling. Oh, can you see that? Oh. It's got a crow. It's got a crow on it, just so you know. And let's see. Do I have the... It's raw. It's raw linen, 32 count. And I decided that on this trip I would start it in memory or commemoration of my anniversary and the trip, because the trip has been extraordinary. But all I was going to do on this trip was to do the bird. So I got that bird done. And I have to say, the conversion, I absolutely love the conversion. The other thing I bought there, and this is because of my friends back at Acorns and Threads, that always, when we have stitch day, they're always talking about Lakeside linen 40 count, and they had some there. And so I bought some buttercream Lakeside linen 40 count. I don't know what I'm using that for. And then I bought a couple of gift items for the future. And everything is being held in this wonderful project bag from Shepherd's Bush, let me just say. I have been doing a lot of embroidery. I find that the embroidery stitching is easiest when we're actually moving, and when we're set up camp, then I switch to cross stitch. I don't know if I showed you this. I think I might have showed it on Quilt Roadies, but here's the pillow I made. This is from Sambry Stitches, her very first chart called the Adventure Sampler, and I made it into a little pillow for the van. And it's perfect in there. It is absolutely perfect in there. So it was wonderful staying there close to Shepherd's Bush and being able to I totally understand what Cheryl from Stitching with the Sisterlies was saying when they went to Stitch West, which is a cross-stitch workshop retreat that they hold in the area, that when you see in the video, there will be these giant, not giant, but giant comparatively, of the Prairie Schooler Santas. They did them on larger cloth, so they're like pillow size, like they end up being like this size instead of the little Prairie Schooler Santas. They are just, I mean, as soon as you walk in, you're like, wow, what a treat. So that whole shop is a bucket list shop. If you're ever going through that area, I would try to make time to stop there. It's just, you'll see in the video, it's just wonderful. So from there, we went, we started heading down the road and ended up staying in Monument Valley. My whole goal, the two goals I had for this excursion was to stay in Monument Valley on my anniversary, and also to be here in Sedona with friends. Monument Valley, you just want to know what the heck happened there. It is so spiritual, so breathtaking, and it truly is one of those places that every single person should visit to reconnect. It truly is stunning. And what was interesting is we stayed in an RV park. You can't really boondock in Monument Valley. It's but there are places to camp, and so many of our fellow campers were renting RVs, which I have to give them credit for that, because I would be hard-pressed to rent an RV and travel in a vehicle I wasn't familiar with. I mean, more power to it. But many of them were from overseas somewhere, some other country. I heard German and some Eastern Bloc languages, Dutch maybe. There were a lot of people traveling through there. And you'll see in the slides, the video that G puts together, it was so funny, because there's one view which is called the Forrest Gump view, because it was in that movie. And I started laughing, because at that point in the movie where that shot is taken and Forrest is running, there were like 30 or 40 people pulled over on the side of the highway taking pictures, and they'll like lay down in the middle of the highway or stand trying to get a photograph, that same shot as what was in that movie. I mean, oh, we are a funny species, let me just say. We are a funny species. But it was truly a bucket list for me to stay in Monument Valley, and so much so that on our return trip home, we altered our travel destinations to go back through Monument Valley, because I wanted to stay in a different area of Monument Valley, but more in the Red Rocks. It's, yeah, put it on your list. Put it on your list. You will not regret it. So I started, or I shouldn't say I started, but I continued the next stitch. Once I was done with the bird, then I moved on to the Doherty Designs of a former place where we lived on this beautiful fabric that I got from Stitchy Witch 42 Audrey. And so I'm going to be, this is going to be now, from now on, will be the designated stitch for this trip. And, you know, I mean, this was made by my friend Julie, such a beautiful needle case and stuff. I am continuing, I continue to travel with Brene Brown's book as an alternative. And let me just look at what's in this pouch, just to make sure. Oh, I forgot, I had a finish. I had a finish on this trip, and that's a finish. I'm not putting the words. I am hoping when I get home that I have a frame that this is going to fit in. But I absolutely love that moon. I mean, yeah, so this trip included a finish. Okay, so stay tuned. There's going to be a wonderful travel video, and if you're interested in some alternative videos and embroidery stitching, then that will come up in the very near future on Quilt Roadies. So stay tuned. Otherwise, we're going to be enjoying the area. I think we're going to head to Cottonwood and Jerome next, just for a day trip. The red rocks around here are absolutely gorgeous, and we're having a wonderful time with friends. It's been a while since we've been able to meet up, and so this has been a gift, a whole gift. So see you next time around. You take care, and you know I love you guys. Guess where I'm at? Oh my gosh, the front windows alone are gorgeous. Let's go inside.